Hey brother, welcome back. I'm out here walking to the coffee shop today to do a little bit of work in my neighborhood, and I wanted to make this video for you. I'm titling it I'm sad that she's sad. And the reason is that I hear this a lot from men in the community. I'm sad that she's sad. Now, they don't always say it that way. The man doesn't always express it that way, but a lot of times what he's talking about is that his mood is affected by her mood. That he sees that she's struggling, and so he's struggling. He's upset that she's upset. You see the pattern here? His well-being, his emotional state is dependent on her emotional state. But what he doesn't realize, what he doesn't recognize, is that she is affected, she's influenced by his emotional state. So when he's down, she's down. And he doesn't think that in these ways, he doesn't think in these terms because he can't believe that he has any power in his life. He doesn't think that anyone cares. He doesn't think that he has any influence, that he has any power, that she listens to him or respects him or even cares what he thinks. But she's impacted, she's affected by his emotional state. When he's down, when he's depressed, when he's not happy, when he's walking around and with his head down and his shoulders slumped, and he's in a depressed state, she's concerned about him. It affects him. She can be even upset by that, right? She can be just upset if the relationship's not in a great place. She can be annoyed with him. She can be frustrated with him. It's just another part of her life that she feels like isn't working. She feels like her mate isn't happy, that she's not doing enough, that she's not doing it right, that life isn't giving her what she wants. And so he's in that same depressed state that he's upset that she's in. And so now what happens is you have two sad people being sad. Sad about each other, sad about their situation, sad about their relationships, sad about how they're feeling, sad about the other partner. And a lot of times we want to fix the other person. We want the other person to be happy, right? And we can point to all the reasons. I hear this all the time. Well, she had a lot of childhood trauma. She had a lot of past relationships that didn't work. Her mother, her father, her grandparents, her aunt, her uncle, her friends. Somebody has done her wrong. Okay? It's like the world's most inclusive country song, right? Her dog left her today. And, it's probably all true. Nobody gets out of here unscathed. Nobody gets out of this life alive, right? Like there's all those types of fun little phrases, and they're all true. And we all have pain. We all have suffering. We all have anxiety and fear. We all have hopes and dreams. We all have all the things that make up life. The important thing is that we don't let them define us. We don't freak out about them. And we certainly don't let ourselves be dependent on someone else's mood for our mood. Now, if she's dependent on us for her mood, that's not something we can own. It's her. We can't do that. We can't fix that for her, right? There's certainly some works that she could do. There's certainly some books that she could read, some understanding that she could have, but we can't own that for her. The only thing that we can own is our part, which is a recognition that we are hooking our emotional hose to her, that we are actually connecting, right, directly to her emotional state, our emotional state, and it's affecting our well-being. And that means that we need to take ownership from that. We need to decouple. We need to disconnect that linkage, disconnect that hose, and say, okay, is my being sad actually going to lift her up and make her feel better? Is it going to make me feel better? No, it's not going to do either one, and it's going to keep us in this lost, powerless, dependent, depressive state. What we've got to do is say, okay, The best way for me to feel better and the best way to influence her in any sort of positive way is for me to be happy, is for me to focus on my joy, feeding my joy, owning my happiness, being responsible for me. Finally asking myself, what do I want? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What do I want to do today, right now, in the future? Setting my mind, setting my intention on pursuing my happiness. You know, in the U.S. Constitution, it did not guarantee happiness. It said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Nobody is going to guarantee your happiness. You have to go pursue it. And so, that's what we need to do. And through that, in that, we have the best opportunity, the best chance for reconciliation, the best opportunity to positively impact her in a way that will actually lift her spirit. She'll feel good about her mate. She'll see that he's happy, that he's healthy, that he's vibrant, that he's got activities and friends, and that he goes places and he owns himself, and that he is reaching for his goals. That's what's going to lift her spirits, lift her up. And if anything, it's going to demonstrate for her, show her what that looks like, so that she can see it and emulate it herself, so she can seek it herself, so she can decide to read a book or have a different thought, or to make connections with friends, or to spend time with herself, just have some time away, and to be able to have her own thoughts and her own feelings, and to get clarity about what she wants. And it's only our fear, that our insecurity, that somehow that's going to negatively impact us, that keeps us stuck in this depressive state. And so we've got to detach from that and really go after what we want. So when you're thinking, I'm sad because she's sad, just recognize that is a downward spiral. It's a death spiral. It's a death of emotional death, of spiritual death, mental death. We can die an emotional death, a spiritual death, long before a physical death. And it's a long, painful slide if we don't take ownership of ourselves, if we don't take responsibility for ourselves. And so if you're thinking, I'm sad because she's sad, that's your red flag. It's your flare. That's your signal that you need to turn your thoughts to yourself. You need to turn your thoughts to ownership. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What do I want? What am I doing? Own it. And also ask, why do I want that? Why do I think that? Where does that come from? What does it do when I think that? Is that helping or hurting? Is that keeping me stuck or moving me forward? Right? These are all questions that you can begin to ask yourself. And when you ask yourself those questions, you may not have the answer in that moment, but just by the virtue of asking that question, your brain will go to work looking for an answer. I think you've heard the phrase, seek and ye shall find. That's it. Once we've given ourselves permission to ask that question, to be curious, to look, to want to know, to have an answer, our brain will go to work trying to figure it out. And you'll be sitting there in a coffee shop, staring off in the distance, driving in your car, going to work, something will happen, and a thought will pop into your head, and then you'll be like, oh, there it is. You'll have that clarity, you'll have that insight that you need. So ask that question, ask yourself those questions, and recognize that you being sad because she's sad isn't making things better. Okay, brother, that's what I have for you today. I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, by the way, I haven't mentioned it in a couple of videos. Down in the description is a link to my calendar. Click on it. Click on it. Let's talk. Let's talk about what's going on in your life. And let's have an opportunity for you to share. And let's talk about how you can experience something different in your life. Let's set up a call. Let's talk. All right. Bye.